I need to apologize for something that you did not specify on.
No, see, this is because your memory sucks and you don't remember that you said that.
Right now, the red thing on top of my scalp is me fucking burning. Because you're pissing me off.
All right, we're back. That's right, we're back. West 86 Podcasts, Productions. We are back. We're not any better, but we're back. So I thought I would start off by saying thanks for watching the first episode. If you did indeed listen to that, I should say, didn't watch, listen, I'm sorry. I'm still somewhat of a novice here. But I do have to introduce Tony, my colleague here.
Hello?
Yes. Aren't you going to say bonjour? We do have a French-Canadian populace listening to us.
Ah, avec plaisir. Bonjour, monsieur et mademoiselle.
You know, you sound kind of B-wordy because you're kind of sounding kind of weird when you say that.
I was kind of trying to speak French.
You try to quilt or sew something. You don't try to speak a foreign language. Either you do or you don't. That's what's called lost in translation.
Ah, merci, non, pardonnez-moi.
While we're on that subject, I feel like this is a great time for you to say that you're sorry to some of our listeners about conflating a very key issue of the last podcast when you said transsexuals when we really were talking about transvestites in terms of that fake theoretical law that they were breaking about bathrooms in North Carolina.
So you want me to apologize for referencing something that was entirely fabricated by you?
I want you to say that you're indeed cognizant that transvestites, that's a kink world issue. Transsexuals, transgenders, that's an identity crisis issue. I would like for you to say that.
I don't feel I need to apologize for something that you did not specify on.
No, see, this is because your memory sucks and you don't remember that you said that.
I'm not talking about what I did or did not say. What I'm talking about is you not clarifying that it is either A, transvestites, B, transsexuals, or C, transgender.
If you went
whether post or pre-op.
No, if you went on Fox News and you said, all Japanese people, when you're really talking about Chinese or Korean people, all Japanese people should have to not be so ethnic, people would go after that, and they would say you're A, being racist and judgmental, but B, you're also conflating all Asians, and you're essentially conflating all of those who might have an XY chromosome and want to aspire to be an XX chromosome, or an XX chromosome inspired to be an XY chromosome.
What in the blue hell are you talking about?
Obviously, someone sitting at this table skipped biology class in high school.
No, I understood all that, but how did you run that gambit?
Did you ever do that Charlie Chaplin little thing where he's like, Charlie, you can do the gene code and know what people are going to come out to? It's called the Charlie Chaplin game. You have the 4 squares.
The only 4 squares I'm interested in right now is jumping over this topic, like as in checkers.
Oh, okay.
You are making no sense again,
so
as per usual.
Are you?
You want me to apologize for something that I didn't even say?
Just say, I acknowledge that transvestites is more of a kink world subject and transgendered is more of an identity crisis subject.
No.
All right.
No, there are differences. I'm not going to say...
Yes, there are differences.
Yeah,
just,
obviously.
Okay.
There are differences between someone who is transgendered and someone who is a transvestite. Obviously. And transsexuals are different from that.
Yes, but
some
when
fall into either group. But what I'm saying is that I'm not going to label being a transvestite as a kink. That's you. I'm not labeling people.
That's what transgendered people who listen to that told me about.
Okay, well then that's their view. Then they can label people all they want. I am not going to label anybody.
All right, we will move on to the next subject. I do want to set the stage here, so to speak. It's not a real stage, but we'll get you up to speed with what the set looks like right now. We're on a porch.
Again.
Tony's wearing his red little cap there that says Make America Great Again.
I am not wearing a cap that says Make America Great Again.
Yes, you are. You're a closet MAGA person.
I do not wear hats.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
With this head, no.
Then what's the red thing on
My
top of your
head
scalp?
is a... Right now, the red thing on top of my scalp is me fucking burning. Because you're pissing me off. Already. We're barely 5 minutes into it. Look, I don't wear hats. Okay? The shape of my big fat head does not look good in hats. The back of my neck looks like a pack of fucking ballpark franks. I will not wear hats. I don't look good in them. They don't compliment me.
What?
Number one. Wait, hold on. Number one. Number two, if I were to wear any kind of cap that had anything written across it, it would not be a Make America Great Again cap.
But you voted for Trump.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I did not.
You said you did.
No, I never said I did.
Yes, you did.
No,
You're
never
like,
said
I
did.
really believe in him. No.
This is another one of those bullshit things that you're just trying to twist my metaphorical nutsack with again.
Who'd you vote for then in 2016?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. So apparently, no one under the name Tony Manero went to the voting booth.
What I did was I voted in the preliminaries. Okay?
Oh, primaries.
No, I'm talking about the preliminaries. Okay?
That's court preliminary hearings, primary voting.
Yeah, and I voted innocent.
All right. Well, he's like turned his red cap backwards, and now he's looking like the guy from Archie. And,
Whatever.
I guess he doesn't want to come to the conclusion that he believes in Donald Trump. But do you believe that you're better 2 years into life after that election?
I'm better?
Yeah.
Or the country?
Both. As a result of the policies and swings that the apparatus of government under Donald Trump have taken.
Let's see. I am not a embarrassingly rich white man, and I am not a member of the Latino community, specifically where it comes where we're dealing with Mexico or any kind of immigration. So no, my life has not been changed whatsoever by the current administration under President Trump. No, it hasn't. I'm just a regular American who doesn't get shit. I don't get good shit. I don't get bad shit. I'm right there in that middle.
Did you know that every episode of The View, that if you mute it and you start Dark Side of the Moon, it syncs with it? It's not just Wizard of Oz.
I didn't know that. No, I did not.
Yes.
Of course, there's no chance in hell I'm watching The View. So, yeah.
Well, then what are you doing every day from 11 o'clock to 12 whenever I try to stop by?
I lock my door and hide under the covers.
From who?
From you! Nobody out there listening right now would blame me. You're a freaking lunatic.
I'm a lunatic. That's a song from Dark Side of the Moon.
No,
Right?
it's not.
Or, yeah, The Lunatics on the Grass. It's not
That's
a song
not-
title.
Okay,
it's
that's
from
what I mean.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
A to Z quotes and
All right. Well,
Personal?
maybe politics and social,
commentary.
yes, is getting a little too premature. I did want to talk about fanboy geek world stuff because that's a big part of our lives. And I was going to ask about the whole, what's your thought on Michael Jordan, the black actor, not the basketball player.
So, Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, Michael B. Jordan
Yes.
potentially playing Superman in the next film.
Yes.
And how big of an impact that would be if a black actor would play Superman. But Tony believes that Christopher Reeves and his ethnic lineage comes from Congo, and that we've already had a black Superman, so we can't even talk about that in terms of a cutting-edge news story. So that's what you said the other night. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a black Superman. We already freaking did! Is what you said. I'm like, jeez, calm down here, okay? God. But
I think you're confusing real life events with your ambient-induced dreams.
I'm not
okay?
Roseanne Barr here, okay?
And no, well, that's good.
Right.
That's great.
But at least she doesn't believe that we've had a black Superman on the big screen.
And neither do I.
Yes, she did. Unless
No.
you believe Congo comes from Europe or some Caucasian part of the world where...
This is all brand new information to me, everyone listening. I have no idea where he gets this crap from.
Okay, so then do you have a problem if Michael B. Jordan plays Kal-El, otherwise known as Superman?
Otherwise known as Clark Kent.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Otherwise known as the Man of Steel.
Right.
Right.
Do
Do I have a problem with Michael B. Jordan playing Superman?
Yes. Do you?
No. Not at all.
But Jerry Seinfeld might.
Well, that's Jerry Seinfeld's problem. And he can keep his $10 and not go to the movie theater and pay to buy a ticket to watch it. Oh, I don't think that Michael B. Jordan can be Superman. What's wrong with these people? Fuck Jerry Seinfeld. I don't care.
But he's like Superman's biggest fan, just like you are to Star Wars.
Well, who says that he's Superman's biggest fan? He had the little statue on his set every time in his living room.
Every
on the
episode of
show.
Seinfeld had some reference to Superman in some way, shape, or form. You did not reference Star Wars on our last episode. Even if you start now, you make a conscious effort to put Star Wars into all these episodes, you're always going to fail a little bit below and doing a homage to your favorite universe. Jerry Seinfeld has it above you.
Well, I'm waiting until we get something on the visual media, because
Oh, see, there's always an
that's
excuse.
on par.
If we go to a visual media, I guarantee that he's not going to show his red cap in public and wear that.
There is no red cap, but guaranteed you're going to be seeing a Star Wars image flash on the screen right about now.
And guess what? There was no melanin in Christopher Reeve's skin. So, tit for tat, no red cap, no melanin on Christopher Reeve's skin. So you got to let that go.
I didn't even take it in. I did not capture it. There's no reason to let it go. You need to let that one go.
This is what your boy does. He lies all the time. Trump, then he spins it around. So I never said that.
You're insane.
I'm the one that said
You are
that.
clinically insane, yes.
All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, moving on. What's your week been like in the world of making America great or keeping it the same or whatever?
Oh,
you've been
for
doing?
Christ's sake, enough with this.
Well, just give me one anecdotal summary of your last few days, week.
My last week. This week has been a pretty good week. All right? I mean, it started off sad because I heard that Kiss is doing their final tour ever, and they're fully retiring, this time for real. Because, I mean, they're between 69 and 71 years old. So, yeah, I can understand that. But it is sad. It is part of my, my childhood rock star idolization. Because Kiss were like superheroes to me, man. I love the superheroes, especially Batman. And I could always see Kiss fucking swinging around and, fighting crime in the middle of the night in Gotham. It just worked. They were superheroes to me, and I loved them. And I had the comics, I had the Mego dolls, the toys of Kiss and everything. I even had a copy of Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. That horrible fucking thing, but I had it. Still, and I loved it. And that's just one part. The older you get, rather, Chris, the more that you find that the things you loved as a child and that shaped your attitude, your personality, and all that stuff, and the things that you love, they all start falling away. Like you say, my memories do.
Okay, well then, what was the first time that you heard about Kiss?
I was 3 or 4 years old, and it was during Christmas. We went to my grandmother raised me because my parents, one was, they were both pieces of shit, really, but anyway. So my grandmother's older sister, Jenny, she had 3 older sisters and 4 older brothers. She was the youngest of 8. And we went to her house, and my great aunt Jenny's grandson, James, was into metal and everything. And he's about 10, 11 years older than me. I went upstairs to where they lived, James, his sister, his mother and father, and he was watching some thing about Kiss. It was like a concert thing. So he told me, come on, sit down and watch it, and he explained who Kiss was. Now, at that point, the only real band I could fathom were the Beatles, because my piece of shit junkie father was all about the Beatles, and Kiss blew me away just by, seeing them on stage and their presence. So, yes, my memory is not that bad. I still remember that moment and just being in awe of these guys.
So you consider Kiss a metal band, is what you're essentially saying?
I consider Kiss a cornerstone of American rock history. You're
Really?
looking at me like that. Yeah, really.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. It's
Take that condescending look and shove it up your ass.
Well, I mean, are you going to start thinking Gene Simmons is black?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Have you seen the afro on that man? He's got to be part black.
I've never seen him with his makeup off.
Then you really need to do a cursory check on the internet for things like this before you bring them up on a podcast.
I'm asking you. I'm just saying. I've heard that he's Caucasian. Never seen him without any makeup on. So what would it be?
Well, he's Jewish, so
You know who's a really big Kiss fan is Montel Williams.
that's awesome.
You want to go on a show?
No.
Really? You don't want to pretend that you're, I don't know, some guy that doesn't want to work and wants to live off his daughter, and you're like 65 and she's, 23. And
I'll wait till I'm 65. Then I'll consider it.
Montel might be dead by then, though.
It happens. What are you going to do?
All right, moving forward, is there anything at all that you'd want to discuss?
Nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind, or nothing's in your mind?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's because your memory's gone. So let's talk a little bit about Tom Brokaw.
Okay.
Now, you said about 2 years ago, I remember this distinctly, it was right before Christmas
Here we go.
of 2016, you kept sending
Here we
everyone,
go. Pack your bags, people.
everyone in our little enclave of friends, you kept sending them this question: is Tom Brokaw an American hero?
That's your shtick.
I know.
Not mine.
No, I'm just curious. I don't have anything against Tom Brokaw, but I'm just curious, how is he a hero?
From this point on, anyone listening should probably accept the fact that Chris is full of surprises and full of shit. He's going to transfer his stuff onto me, just like you would, say, when you were younger and you liked someone, but you didn't want it to show that you liked someone. So you'd go ahead and say, oh, well, so-and-so likes them. To kind of put that little barrier to deflect the fact that it might be showing that you like them. Chris is essentially doing the same thing here, only it's with his neuroses.
See, now, you said something really interesting. You said that I am going to be bringing shit up, but with surprises. But if you acknowledge that I'm going to be bringing shit up, it's no longer a surprise. So what you just did was you basically admitted an oxymoron. Not oxymoron, oxymoron.
All right, everyone, when I said pack your bags, here we are. The trip is in a circular logic pattern, all the way around. That's where we're going.
Do you like Tom Brokaw or not? That's a real question. Let's break this down.
I am indifferent toward Tom Brokaw.
So then how is he a hero?
I don't know. You tell me. You keep asking.
Is he a hero?
You ask, is Tom Brokaw an American hero? People, if you're listening and you're friends with this man on Facebook, go through his timeline. You'll see him constantly writing stuff. Is so-and-so an American hero? As far as I'm concerned, William Catt is the greatest American hero. Hands down.
Really? Not Nathan Hale? See, that's the thing that annoys me about your buddy Trump.
He didn't get it. He didn't get the reference.
Wait.
How can he call himself a fanboy and not get that reference?
Let me just make an actual point here, okay? So Trump goes on and he says that John McCain's not a hero because he got captured, but Nathan Hale, who we learned in elementary school, you know, do you have any regrets? I only regret that I have one life to lose for my country. If that's the standard bearer that we learn, and then we learn from Trump, it's not the standard bearer. It's like there's no reason to celebrate Memorial Day or Veterans Day if people who are actually going to get killed are not considered heroes by that logic of Trump. That's one thing that really annoyed me that he said in the campaign. Now, I know you might or you might not have. I wasn't in the booth with you that day to see how you submitted your little ballot there. But I'm just saying that was a very derogatory statement by a dim-witted presidential candidate, I should say, at that point in time.
Your voice is trailing off.
My voice is trailing off because...
Just make sure you're speaking, you know, in a good timbre where they can hear you.
I told you that I had to get my adenoids removed, right?
Right.
Okay, so I have to get them removed.
Okay. Again, no compassion, but yes.
Someone's beeping the horn in the background there. I don't know what's going on, but at any rate...
And it's a pickup truck. Truck! That's a callback to our first episode.
Truck! Right. Camera moves left and right, by the way. So...
And right up your ass. With what you were saying, yeah, I agree.
Okay. So, how about some anecdotal stories from the last week?
Right. Do you have one in your pocket ready to...
It's not a good one, but yeah, I do have one. So, I had to stay with this guy as I'm still, you know, evacuating, an evacuee, I don't know however you pronounce it. But at any rate, I had to stay with this woman, and then her brother was staying with me. And he's a nice guy, but he just talks all the freaking time.
I know exactly how you feel.
Right, exactly. But at any rate, you know, I have to leave to smoke a cigar to get my alone time, my solitude. Mm-hmm. And
all he wants to do is cuddle.
Well, I told him that, you know, I'm really more of a, you know, fuck him and chuck him kind of person. But at any rate, so I was... Well, at any rate. So this guy he had seen me smoke like 3 or 4 cigars throughout the duration of the weekend. And then I think it was 2 nights ago, I walked outside and I started smoking a cigar and I finished, and he come right back out and he wanted me to help him lift the lawnmower into his truck. And I was like, okay, I guess we can do that. But at any rate, we started to do that. And he's like, are you smoking Adobe? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, well, too bad, because I would have liked a hit of that. That's not the funny part. The funny part is just that he later admitted to me the next morning that the woman that is letting me stay with him and her...
His sister?
Yes.
Okay.
She used to smoke pot at a place called 23 and 1.
Is that like chromosomal?
I think so.
Okay, so what, are they like token up behind a Planned Parenthood?
Pretty much, yeah.
Huh. All right.
So he kept asking me like the next day, you know, where can I get some pot? I'm like, I don't smoke pot at all, and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I was
not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, but I was like, look, and I even have one right now. Listen to this. It's a wrapper for a cigar, an actual punch cigar. That's a premium cigar.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can attest to that. It is only a cigar.
So I was getting really frustrated. I'm like, dude, I don't have any pot. I can't score you any pot.
Mm-hmm.
So he got really mad at me, didn't talk to me for a couple days, and he just got in his car and drove off.
Must have made sleeping in the same bed awkward.
Well, it was already awkward because I wet the bed like the first night I was there. But...
I thought that was a wet dream.
Well, I mean, come on, yeah.
Well, here's the weird thing. The older you get, the more you have wet farts and dry dreams instead of the other way around.
Well, I thought you're supposed to urinate more because your prostate gets bigger.
That too, yeah.
How big is your prostate right now?
About the size of a grapefruit.
No, it's got to be bigger than that.
No, it's fine. My prostate is fine.
Really?
Yes.
Have you had a prostate massage lately? I'm not going to offer one.
No, I haven't had a prostate massage.
Okay.
That's extra at the Tiki Club, by the way. No, it's never a happy ending with that. I always opt for the sad ending. After I get the Chinese massage, Yeah, I'm not just being general and racist. They are actually people from China who work there and with Chinese heritage.
Oh, I forgot to tell everyone. We went out to the Chinese buffet. Me and this Trump supporter sitting next to me.
That was last week. We did that.
Yeah, but I didn't get anything in my fortune cookie. There was nothing in there, so apparently I have no good fortune. There was literally nothing, good or bad. Nothing ominous, nothing hopeful, nothing.
That's good because I opened up mine and it said you ain't making it out the front fucking door alive. Turned out to be false, just like horoscopes. Bullshit.
I actually believe quite a bit in astrology, so.
That's nice.
You don't.
That's very nice.
Right?
Congratulations.
We're both Cancers, by the way. Yes. Which
Yes.
means we're moody fucking assholes. I
Yes,
guess.
and he is like a cancer. He is my prostate cancer. That's it.
But
it's
prostate cancer, your chances of survival are pretty high. I mean, you
Okay.
got to go for like pancreatic, like Michael Keaton in that,
Michael Keaton had pancreatic cancer?
in that movie, My Life. Yeah, he basically rotted.
Oh, okay, the movie. I thought you meant like in real life.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No. And he
Good.
was a white Batman. There's no doubt about that. He wasn't black. Okay,
Oh, okay.
just saying. But we did have a black Two-Face in that movie.
No,
Yes,
no.
Harvey Dent.
it was Harvey Dent, but he wasn't Two-Face.
Well, okay.
Not until Joel Schumacher bastardized.
Tommy
The
Lee Jones
Batman.
wasn't black.
No, he wasn't exactly. But I'm saying, then they had Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face, blah, which is ridiculous. Why couldn't they get Billy D. Williams again? Fucking, I love Billy D. Williams. Smooth Colt 45. The motherfucker is so smooth.
Yeah, but we have to admit there was no character in that Batman.
Well, no, but there could have been. Just like a secondary character. In the second one, he becomes the primary character.
Right.
You know, but we didn't. Not even a secondary character. He was a tertiary character.
Right.
But still, I would have liked to see a whole big spin-off of Knox.
That would have
Something
been
happened to him.
that would have been awesome.
Because Knox was fucking awesome in that movie.
Robert
in
Moore,
'89.
yes.
Yeah.
And he was great as Arliss too. I mean,
Yeah.
people don't really like that show, but I mean, he was just a stand-up comic that got this great casting in this big blockbuster back when the blockbusters weren't as
Yeah. Prevalent.
prevalent. That's what I
Right, especially comic book movies.
Right.
Hell, I remember going to see that and then seeing the poster for Captain America. It was just like a total ripoff of the Batman logo from, Batman '89. And it was just the shield. It's like, Captain America coming soon. I was like, yeah! And it never showed up. Never did. But I have seen it.
Well, here's the question.
And it sucked.
Here's a real question. All kidding aside, if Batman hadn't have come out in '89, would the Turtles movie be higher on the list of all-time great comic book movies? Because it's not even on the. I think that you could make a case that's one of the top 10 best comic book adaptations. It came out in '90, and it was gritty. It was dark.
I mean, there were so many different inclinations and adaptations of the Turtles from the original book, or books rather, that it's hard to say if the movie was really based off of the books or based off of the material that was based off of the books, i.e. the cartoon.
So you're saying it was an adult variant of the cartoon?
It was a... let me see, how can I put this? It was a live-action variant of the cartoon, yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Great film, though.
It was, but we're not talking about the recent ones.
Oh, no. got it.
No, not anything Michael Bay related, no.
And what about...
I'll tell you this much. I will say, if Batman '89 did not come out, UHF would have been a much bigger movie that year, that summer.
Really?
Yes. UHF fell by the wayside because you had a few blockbusters come out along with '89, and
Well-
UHF just fell flat.
Well, not only blockbusters...
And that's a funny movie.
Right, not only blockbusters, but like Harry Met Sally came out that summer, and that did fairly well, but for a film that was as critically acclaimed for its genre, that was really sort of under... I mean, people don't remember how big of a film Batman '89 was, pop culture-wise. I think it was bigger in scope than Dark Knight of 2008.
Well, it was a different time back then.
Right.
You know, So yeah, of course it was. I mean, we were kind of clamoring to get a movie, but I don't know. At that point, I mean, we would have taken almost anything. I mean, what about Dolph Lundgren's Punisher? That was ugh. But it was cool when you were like, a teen.
Right.
And that '89 was our comic book movie back then. I've got a few years on you, but still, it was amazing. It was awesome to have that. It's like, we've got the Cape Crusader on the fucking big screen. Yeah! Nicholson! Joker! Yeah! And you look back on it, and now you're like, well, it was cool. It's not like the be-all and end-all anymore. Because times change. People change. You change as a person.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, all your fandom has to change along with you through the new inclinations. Which is why sometimes when you take a look at what they're doing now with characters and screwing with them, you kind of have a bad taste in your mouth. But you got to remember, this is for the new kids.
Well, who are they screwing in? Are you talking precisely Batman or something more in another?
I'm talking Marvel.
Okay.
I'm talking Marvel's big changes that they've been doing for the past year, 2 years. Taking the established characters that people know and love for decades and basically recasting them. It's not even it's barely a reimagining, As in, now Thor is a woman. As in, now Iron Man is no longer Iron Man. It's actually a 15-year-old ethnic girl, and her name is Ironheart. Now the Ironheart one, I can dig on that because she doesn't take on the moniker of Iron Man. So that's cool, But changing Thor to a woman, weird. You know what I mean? I mean, if you look at Thor Ragnarok, having Cate Blanchett play, basically death, hell, her playing hell was great. If Hell in the comics would take over as Thor, that makes sense. Okay, great. So she is the new god of thunder. She now calls herself Thor. Fine, no problem. You know what I mean? I got no problem with a black Captain America. None whatsoever, because, we know it's Falcon. You know what I mean? So that's cool. And that's all gravy. But I'm not sure why they didn't just come up with new characters. You know what I mean? Like they did with Ironheart, with Riri Williams becoming a different type of Iron Man, but now it's Ironheart. That's groovy. I dig on that. You know what I mean? So you've got to realize as you get older, the more things change, the more they stay the same, because now that's for the new kids. Just like the freaking prequels, man. You know what I mean? Lucas brought out that shit, and I talked to kids, who've seen the prequels, or when the prequels came out when they were little kids, rather. Just like the original trilogy when I was a kid, these kids love the prequels. That's their trilogy. That's their Star Wars. They find the original trilogy kind of dull, kind of long, kind of boring, not enough action. You know what I mean? It's just a sign of the times. So it's okay. It's all good. It's all gravy. As long as people are loving it, that's all that I think should matter. To each their own.
But are people loving the DC films?
Not as many as DC you would hope. And now they're trying to make it more Marvel-ish.
Talk a little bit about that.
Why?
Well, I mean, is it going to work? Because this isn't a long-standing question, but I think it should be revised for transposing it in that sense. Is that obviously these characters are a bit different. The hallmarks of each company are different, but is it just more precisely in those 3 acts, like a Marvel film, 1, 2, 3? Does it just work better in live action, or is it just that they're getting better directors, they're making stronger choices?
I feel it's the latter, what you just said. Better directors, better writers, they're making better choices. DC, if you would take what DC applies to its animated movies and made that live action, they would be on par with Marvel and possibly even better, you know? But they're going for this whole dark thing, okay? Only the DC Universe board of directors or whomsoever are making these movies can take the let's see, good example. Okay, here, great example. Justice League. How the hell did they manage to take a bunch of colorful, costumed superheroes and make a movie that looks like footage from the Holocaust? I don't get that. Oh, it's dark because dark is closer to real life. I watch TV and go to movies to escape real life. I don't need to be reminded with every frame that it's fucking torturous and depressing.
And do you, in a way, blame The Dark Knight for that? This wave of realism to an extent that maybe fit really well because, for all intents and purposes, The Dark Knight is a crime film, but it's not going to work for something that should be colorful and vibrant like the Justice League?
Exactly. See, when you're dealing with Batman, you can go dark because it's like goth. You know what I mean? Gotham, goth, you know? It fits. It can work. You know? And when you think about it, the Chris Nolan trilogy has a lot of better choices because it seemed more plausible. You know what I mean? But DC now, with Justice League, with Suicide Squad, it's more or less just, giant hordes of aliens or a super powerful mystical being, and they don't make sense. The writing's terrible. I'm sorry. I feel it is. I'm not an acclaimed writer, but I have 147 IQ. It's been tested 3 times. I can understand what they were trying to do, but it was such a movie made by committee. It was a bunch of people who saw what other films who had high-grossing numbers did, and they said, we'll just do that. Make that. I mean, it's the age-old Hollywood bigwig sitting around smoking a fat cigar saying, let's make this. So it's been kind of, horrible. Very, very bad things.
I'm quite surprised that during that little spiel you didn't pick on my hat myself.
What's to pick on? Okay, so look, you're wearing a Justice League t-shirt underneath a baseball long sleeve jersey type thing with, that's black and yellow with the Batman symbol on it. And you're wearing a Captain America hat, baseball cap.
But what's the funniest thing about the hat? What did someone ask me the other day?
Oh, yeah. How stupid. Is that a Dallas Cowboys hat? Wow. Okay. So obviously a sport person, not a, comic fanboy. Which, again, to each their own, man,
Well, I think that this is the time of the show that we're going to introduce a new segment that I hope to do every week. I came up with this the other day. The segment will be Reasons to Hate Me.
I can think of 100.
Yes. But I'm going to always be bringing up a new one. It's sort of going to be analogous to Letterman's Top 10 or something to that effect. And we're going to state, what the reason is, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Today's reason and the debut reason is the real reason to hate me today is that I don't have a bronze medal in Olympic figure skating. Don't you hate that about me?
The fuck?
I don't have a medal, period.
Neither do I.
Yeah?
Who gives a shit?
A lot of people hate me because of that.
Okay, again, this is all in your head.
No, they hate me, trust me.
That's why there are a million reasons to hate you. That is not one of them.
Yes, it is.
How? In your warped sense of reality, is that what you came up with? Oh, it's not because of my incessant fucking obsession with the minute details of other people's lives. Oh, it's not in my constant ability to Andy Kaufman clickbait them. No, what you're doing is coming up with these weird fucking reasons why.
No. You're missing the point. Is that if I had a bronze medal in Olympic figure skating, I could get away with all that. So it is the reason why people hate me.
No.
Yes.
What you're saying is that if you had a bronze medal in Olympic figure skating, more people would like you.
More people would love me. They would not hate me.
Okay, more people would love you then. All right, as opposed to hating you.
Yeah.
Which I'm just going to say, yeah, you're right. If you had a bronze medal in Olympic figure skating and you were on a Wheaties box, you would be America's sweetheart.
Okay. But I don't.
But
and
you
I have
don't.
to live with that for the rest of my fucking life.
Unfortunately, yes. That's just the hand you're dealt.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
the only thing gold I'm going to ever see is a golden shower from Chicago.
Right about now, I'm feeling like pulling a Nancy Kerrigan on you.
Chicago is the name of this person that hates me and has threatened to urinate on things that I own. Hopefully not my body, but maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully not your figure skates.
Right. Well, folks, it's our second recording here, and there's going to be many more to come, but we need to close this out.
Brace yourselves.
Thank you again for listening, and hopefully he'll be wearing a little different hat than Make America Great Again. So maybe
I'm going to buy one of those now just to force it down your throat.
Maybe you should wear a burqa next time we're speaking.
Okay, and on that note, I'm a daddy.